September 11th, the 2001 September 11th monument donated from their services. Mueller's Funeral Home has a grave site for the State Patrolman, Mr. Soderman, shown at the State Patrol Office in Ritzville, Adams County, 210 West Broadway, P.O. Box 187, Sheriff Office, and also the Othello Police Department, 509-488-3314. And also the services they provide at the Moses Lake Police Department. Some hoodies and canine shirts, regular canine shirts and hoodies, $40. Regular shirts, $20. They do accept checks. These cashier checks are supposed to be at Chase Bank, U.S. Bank, and money orders from the post office. Now this police officer on September 27th, 2019, liked attacking people with Class A uniforms and Moses Lake Police Department uniforms. And at the GTA International Airport, they like starting problems. So we're at the library, Mid-Columbia Library, putting Mr. Brandon West's paperwork on the front of Cimaron 5 INC door and have people sign their first and last name because they know I have no record and I have a job and I'm a resident here and we own the property. Now, Moses Lake Police Department was dispatched, and I let them know that I have no warrants, outstanding warrants, and if they want to testify, Mr. James and David Ferruzzi, David Rez Ferruzzi, and David Knob from WorkSource, and the general manager, services, that coordinates the services here. So I was hit by a Trailblazer, white four-door, by Stephanie Swanberg from the Freda. And I got the Freda documentation from Cimaron 5 INC. UBI number, base number. And there are a bunch of homeless people that live in this area that are involved in crime waves. Especially police officer with body bags, here in Othello. And also Rhonda Kaiser and Frank Kamuska and Jay Mueller, Mueller Funeral Home at Andy Miller's office, coroner's office. Now Fabian Barela and Carrie Barela are coming to the court, Andy Miller, and also the Mid-Columbia Library. And also here in Moses Lake Police Department. They're going to sign all the documentation. Mr. Vasquez, Miss Vasquez, Department of Licensing, Mr. Todd Levette, and Amber from the jewelry store, U.S. Bank, Key Bank, U.S. Bank and Chase Bank are coming in so they can sign for stolen credit cards and checkbooks. And the Mid-Columbia Library are paid in full for the books that the police officer stole from Cimaron 5 INC. Mr. Sean Logan's upstairs with Andy Miller, Andy Miller's office, and Sean doesn't know who Andy Miller is. Now Sean Logan, the mayor of Othello, knows who Andy Miller is. Mr. Jim Logan from Carpet Carousel, Don Logan, Jim Logan, Betty Logan, from Othello, Washington. 1005 East Ham was caught on fire. And also Exxon Mobil was caught on fire in Othello. And the Cimaron 5 INC was caught on fire in Othello, Washington. And the officers on the 27th September attacked me from the base insurance company, which is Sean R. Logan. And then Sean Logan, the mayor of Othello, he got, there's a base insurance company, used to be Safeco Insurance, called Studio 7, 24 Fitness, and a laundromat in Othello, Washington on Main Street. Long time ago, when you're in diapers, it used to be Safeco Insurance. Now it's called Basin Insurance Company, 1344 East Main Street, Othello, Washington. Since I was hit by a trailblazer, seems like these officers like attacking me on the sidewalk for crossing the street. And they say it's against the law to cross the street. Mr. Olson, property manager of Sun Basin Properties, owns property throughout on Broadway and covers the Mexico trailers, and also those units and property goes all the way into the lumberyard. And they say it's against the law to cross the street. So it must be a real serious offense for crossing the street to Olson's property. And plus I had $7,000 on my property, and my money in cash and checkbooks and credit cards and driver's license that were taken by this officer. Now City Hall is 500 East Main Street. Mose Lakesdale is 401 Balsam. And Annie Miller loves therapy and therapeutic cross-country running, swimming, and chiropractic. Annie Miller loves all those accessories. Since the Gold's Gym on Queensgate, and also the bus 123, north and southbound, go all the way to Annie Miller's office, coroner's office. Felix is not even there. Yeah, it is. Moses Lake Police Station is 411 South Blossom, which is the end of this corner, the end of this block. And this is 411 South Boston. Can't miss it. Protect as you go. 411 South Boston. Parks Regs. That's where. 509-762-160. The services you provide at Balsam or Plum Integrated Services. You guys got that card or phone number?
Which card?
Balsam Integrated Services for people that
can. I don't have that one. This is the Grant County number. This is ours, and this is Red Flex.
Okay, well, the integrated services here in Moses Lake, the Balsam one. How do we contact them? How do we get somebody to contact them? Like, contact them so they show up. Like Adams County got one, Othello got one, and Moses Lake got one. That's my bus driver said they have integrated services.
Give me a second. Where's the integrated services?
They said November 19th all the way to the 26th, 27th, 28th.
It's up on the hill right behind Moses Lake Community Health on Coolidge.
All right.
That's where it's at.
Yeah. Integrated Services had something signed off. His name's Brandon West.
We don't know that. You would have to go and ask.
Right. Well, Integrated says they have no phone number. You guys have no business cards here?
We get everything off Google.
And then what do we do from there if we can't get any services? They refuse.
Go to the office, or just report it. I don't know.
Okay, I did.
Okay.
So I just sit there in City Hall until they have the situation. This is the Othello Police Department. They had the sheriff shot and car collision in Othello. I'm in City. I was me in the City Hall.
Okay.
And they say I don't live here, so I'll just sit there, wait for the state patrol to show up and sign first name, last name, and do it from there.
What are you asking for right now?
They're integrated service. I got a piece of paper that says integrated service on it, and the bus driver said on the 26th, 27th, he said I was at the Moses Lake. I didn't go to Christmas, Thanksgiving dinners, but this is the same charge. I was crossing the street.
Okay.
Is there just a law to cross the street? But no. You arrested me, and they arrested me, and the Moses Lake Police might show up, and I called 762-1162.
Okay.
And I say, yeah, I'm Felix Barela. Accept the phone call. You need to drop charges.
Okay.
I have no warrants for my arrest. They were saying I had warrants or outstanding warrants for my arrest. I didn't.
Okay.
I did the fingerprints. He wouldn't fingerprint me. And then he wouldn't let me go into the holding cell to dress down.
Okay.
And then he was kind of confused because he's sitting there looking at me, and he's looking at all my wardrobe and says, how many pairs of socks you got? Were you charging me for how many pairs of socks I got? Are you charging me? I need a phone call. No, I need to use your phone. I need to take this phone from you, and I can't let you use this phone. I said, well, you broke my phone. I can't even use it.
Okay.
And they said, well, can you just hold up, boss? Hold up, Haas. I'll be nice to you. And I'm not your bitch. I'm not your woman. I'm not your friend. You're not your friend. I'm not your friend.
Okay.
Could you hurry up and process me? I'm out the door. I'm getting released. He's fingerprint me. I signed the documentation. Like I said, this officer outside, Mr. Ayers, outside with the Moses Lake City Hall, give me the documentation. I did the same thing. He didn't give me no citation ticket. I was crossing.
He gave you a trespassing form. I remember that. That means
Right. I told him to give me the documentation. It took you 1 hour, 3 hours, and I had to go to district court and show up over there, and nobody was there.
We weren't giving you.
No. I was a 24-hour fitness. Anderson's inside the Othello Police Department. He says he owns 24-hour fitness in Othello.
Okay.
I'll say, no, that's Sean Logan. That's my house. Across the street, the insurance company. Those cops at the insurance company walked across the street and attacked me.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit in the city hall. And I asked. I sat and waited for him to show up. They didn't show up.
You're going to get arrested.
Excuse me? No, I'm talking about Othello.
Okay, well, this is Moses Lake.
Well, I'm just letting you know, because I called here when I was in Richville. Same charge for crossing the street.
Okay, well, I don't know what Othello does and what their law.
What it is, why don't you just put a restraining order on the guy, and whatever it takes, you're already in the courtroom for getting shot at and in a car collision.
Okay, well, have you
No.
about this?
I called the cops on the guy, and he grabbed my phone and smashed it in the ground, and took all my stuff in the trunk and smashed it in the trunk. I'm in Andy Miller's office.
Okay.
I'll call Andy Miller, have him show up. You guys, I had no warrants, outstanding warrants for my arrest. I called here.
It's not up to me to determine.
No, well, they released me because they got the phone records on the information, and the bus drivers, I showed them the case report and the collision I was hit.
Okay.
And I'm calling Todd Levetton at jewelry store. You did steal jewelry, and I have $7,000 on the information. I just submitted to the DHS office. And the phone, he just kept on taking information. He wanted to take the information off it, and we signed a piece of paper for that.
Okay. What do you want me to do, Felix?
Oh, Plum Services. Is it possible you can have a Google and give me the phone number and the email, and I'll give it to.
Let me get it for you.
Perfect.
Hold on.
You're a liar.